Every time you turn around, you see someone talking about how to get more memory, more context, and more information into their AI because that's the only way to truly make it useful and to get results that you can use. But sometimes that's not the best approach. And there's actually a more nuanced way to approach this that a lot of people are completely overlooking. And in this video, I'm going to show you some of the benefits and some of the drawbacks of trying to get more information into AI because honestly, sometimes less context is the best context. I opened up this project based around my community and I asked ChatGPT to give me a roadmap about the future of the community based on what it knows about it for the next 6 months and whether someone should join or not. I'm going to duplicate this tab. I'm going to go to the project settings, and then I'm going to change this from default memory to project only memory. I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to ask the same question again. And instead of reading through this very long response that ChatGPT is writing out, we're going to come down to the message bar, type it, and then visualize. And then ChatGPT is going to generate a 6-month visualization of the roadmap for the community. Copy the message, and we'll do the same thing over here as well. But we're going to wait for it to finish working through the context. So here's the visualization based on an open memory where ChatGPT could look at my project files, but also look at my entire account. We see there's a full roadmap. There's a product label that changes in February, December. There's a community tab. There's also a growth tab. We have the flywheel, should someone join, best positioning. This is what we got right here. And now we're going to ask ChatGPT to visualize its response based solely on the project context. Now, myself personally, I think that when it's based solely on the project context, it's going to be hyper specific. And in this particular use case, I think it's going to be better because it's not bringing in information from other conversations that I had maybe weeks or months ago because ChatGPT memory is super strong now. So you're going to bring in a lot of noise if you leave it open like that. And I can already tell the difference just by the tabs at the top. The first roadmap, we had full roadmap, product, community, growth. Over here, we have the roadmap, should a person join, and the moat. It's a lot cleaner when it's just focused on content that has to do with agent fluency. So we have the 90-day path, the 10 fluencies. We have the current offer. It's only $9 a month right now. If you want to join agent fluency in my school community, $9 a month, $90 a year. You lock that in forever as long as you're in there. Even as the price goes up to $40, $50, $60, $90 a month, you're still going to be paying $9 a month, $90 a year. I can't believe I'm doing this. All right. So then we have, should a person join? Join now. Look how clean this is as opposed to the other, not more AI content. Then the moat. The moat is not the 90 lessons. The moat is the structured progression from discovery through audit, agent finder, builder, auditor, and the engineering methods underneath them. This is a lot cleaner. Now, I personally think that the second one is better because it's cleaner, it's more to the point, and it's more relevant. This one tried to bring in so much information, but either way, I feel like the second one was more to the point and cleaner. But the only difference between the output of the first and the second is the memory setting inside of the project. So for instance, this is the one that had the default memory. This means that the project can access memory from outside chats and vice versa. We're not worried about vice versa right now, but library access enabled. This means that every single piece of content that I've generated with ChatGPT images, spreadsheets, documents, everything, all of the artifacts, this project had access to them when it generated the roadmap, which depending on how you use ChatGPT can be a great thing. But for my particular use case, because I create projects to isolate the conversation, it's a very bad thing. So let me change this back to project only memory and save it. But what I want you to notice is that this project only has the context that it requires. This is the project controller that's going to tell the project how to manage all of the files that are here. It's kind of like a registry, but it's also letting it know this is how you use these and when you use these. So everything in here is all the evidence or all the context I need for the agent fluency community. Now, once I start bringing in other documents and items beyond these Google Drives and these handful of files here, it's going to start to bring in a lot of noise. The way I use projects is to separate ideas and to create clean context. So for instance, I have a project for Bible study where I do all of my Bible studies so that I can keep those conversations here. Then I have a show Bible that I created for my YouTube channel. I keep all of those conversations here. Then I have a descriptive video editing project where I edit my YouTube videos. And then I have several other projects built around different experiments or topics that I'm actively researching, investigating, or just learning about AI with. And some of these projects are going to be projects where I intentionally keep the memory off by default. Like if I open this skill compiler and then we look at the settings, you can see that it's default memory. And the reason it's default memory is because library access is enabled. This means that it's going to be able to read the files that I've uploaded to ChatGPT and actually work with them to compile those skills into an uploadable fashion where I can use them inside of ChatGPT. I don't have to use my skills inside ChatGPT work and burn through my credits. I actually have a video showing people how to do it. I'll put right here. But another occasion where I don't want ChatGPT accessing the library and I wanted to stay hyper focused on the information contained therein is my health project. This is going to have all of my health information where I'm working on my own personal fitness, routines, exercise plans, dieting, things my doctor said, all of that. So I don't want any outside noise from business or life coming into that conversation. And that's the best way to think about it. Is this a room where I'm going to have multiple different types of conversations? Is it a break room where I can sit down and talk with different coworkers about different topics? Or is this a library? Is this a study hall where I'm sitting down to study something specifically? I have a set number of books I'm going to be looking at and nothing else. Phone off, etc. Another good example of this is Gemini Notebook. Gemini Notebook is as closed as it gets because once you upload the sources, these are all that you have. But quite differently from ChatGPT, I'm able to turn on or off individual sources so that I can get hyper specific with the context I allow and I don't allow when I'm working inside of a notebook. And just to show you how the context impacts the responses you receive from AI, I just asked this open project, which has access to conversations outside the project as well as inside. What do you know about how I like to work? What decisions have we already made for this project? What information here belongs somewhere else? Then we're going to change the memory back to project only memory. Library access is disabled. Save it. And then I'm going to ask again. So the first open response was simply what I know about how you like to work. Very detailed response. What decisions have we already made for this project? Once again, so many, like 12 different decisions. And number 3, what information here belongs somewhere else? There are 2 different cleanup problems. Very good response, but it was open. Then when we look at the closed response, what I know about how you like to work, we can see that it's also shorter, more to the point. Decisions already made for agent fluency, very short list, but it's super focused on the actual things that we've talked about in the conversations. What information here belongs somewhere else? Now, this is where things have gone the opposite direction, whereas the previous open response only labeled 2 things. This list so far has labeled 4, 5, 6 items that need to be moved out of this folder or this project. And then I did it one last time. I ran it in a regular chat because with regular chats, they can access projects that have the memory turned on, etc. When it comes to how I like to work, it's kind of short. But when it comes to decisions already made for Agent Fluency, HQ, the list, or at least the way the information is laid out, is very, very long, super long. What information here belongs somewhere else? There are at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items that the open chat outside of a project recommended for that project because of the abundance of context that it possesses. And so the context is always going to impact the breadth or the sharpness of the response in some degree. It's not going to always be the same because it matters on what that context actually is. And so maybe you've been thinking about building a second brain, or you're already using projects inside of ChatGPT, or you've never thought about using projects inside of ChatGPT. You should probably start using projects inside of ChatGPT to keep your conversation separate. But at the same time, don't think you have to upload 1 million documents into a project just to get a good response from AI. If you got value out of this video, make sure you hit the like button, hype it if you can. And as always, take care, have a great day. And I'll see you in this next video where I'm showing people how I use my skills without ChatGPT work using ChatGPT projects.